away.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Good morning, afternoon, maybe it's evening, maybe it is the middle of the night for you. Maybe it's the middle of the night. I hope you have a great weekend. Mine was okay, kind of challenging, but I got through it. How about you? Yeah, you have a good weekend. I hope so. I got to spend it with my grandkids. Got a lot of grandkids. Not maybe a lot. It probably just depends on what you consider a lot. I have 5. I had 3 of them this weekend. They're at the age where they take care of themselves, their cousins, and so I don't see them as much as you'd think I do. They want to come over and play with Orson. Grandpa's like, yeah, he's good for food. He's good for movies or asking for things that I want. Yeah, that's my job, isn't it? My job as grandpa to spoil the grandchildren. Yeah. Since I didn't do shit for my children, I do now. In fact, part of the reason why I do what I do and I keep my schedule the way I keep my schedule is because of my kids. So that I can be here, so I can be available. May need to change that a little bit. Angel, good morning. She said it was great till yesterday. Sucked. One thing after F another. Oh, thank God it's not Sunday anymore then. Yeah. Bronco game sucked. God, our offense looks like crap. It does. We wouldn't even have been in that game if it wasn't for our defense. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Kind of a weird morning. Some friends sent me some texts about some guy, pretty much getting in the face of some recovery service organizations about Medicaid fraud. He's not wrong. They did it. They don't want to admit it. He didn't go about it the right way, but I'm doing my best not to get caught up in all of that. See, here's the thing. It did happen. It happened. I saw the darn paperwork. Okay. I know who was on the list. I saw it. I wasn't able to get a copy of it, though. So, and they were on it. I knew they were on it. How do I know? Because I'm the one that reported them. It may not have been, I don't think it was my report that did the job. Okay. Now, here's the thing. As alcoholics, what do? We can do what? We can make mistakes, but they won't even admit that they made the mistake. And that's the problem. That's where I have a problem. But is that any of my business? I don't know. Not really. I mean, they haven't been really kind to me. Oh, I got mad because I reported and they're not willing to admit it. So you can see that it's turned into something else. And now I'm getting in a position where I have a little bit of control of what's going on. I don't have power or anything. It's not like I get that control of much as I don't. Besides, I wouldn't want it anyway. All right. So it's about trying to make good decisions. So you know what I did? Yeah, nothing. It's like, Saturday I went down to the recovery rally. That's going to surprise. Did you know that, Angel? I went down to the recovery rally. Yeah, I went. And I didn't stir anything up. No, I got a bunch of good resources. And then somebody even posts up, hey, recovery rally, and I said something positive. Usually I would be like, hey, but it's about time for me to join in on the little. They're games, but these are games that I might have to play a little bit to get to where we need to be. Oh well, right. It's been 5 years. If these people aren't going to admit Medicaid fraud by now, they ain't going to do it. But it's going to pop up sooner or later. That's the thing about life is you're not going to get away with anything in this life. Sooner or later, it will come back to haunt you. Yeah. Yeah. You know, then there's name calling and they're like, that's just gross. Well, F him. You know, it's just I want to say cringy, but then I'm being like them. And I don't. Yeah, I tell you now, the guy that they're talking about, I'm not a fan of his either. He needs a little bit of help. There is some PTSD going on there, but I understand that. I haven't blocked. He was too much for me. So I understand why they're getting upset, but I'm not going to sit here and call people names. Nah, I don't have time for that. I saw a friend down there, but one thing I noticed he didn't introduce me to his fellow workers. That was something that I kind of noticed. I noticed these little things. Are you guys like that too? I notice if you do not comment, if you don't like my stuff, if you're not following, if you're just being one of my friends because it's the right thing to do. If you're in that situation with me, you can unfriend me. I'm not going to be upset. In fact, I'd rather you just unfriend me. I don't like hanger-ons. I can't do fake. I cannot do fake. That's why I'm having a hard time with all of this. Because if I just jump on wholeheartedly, it would be fake and I can't do it. I respect myself too fucking much, man. All right. But if you're my friend and just hanging out on Facebook because you think it's the right thing to do, but you don't really like my stuff, but you want to be kind, then just go away. That's the kind thing to do, actually. That's actually the kind thing to do. Angel says, yeah, but they have no problem causing someone to lose their house. Yeah. Hmm. More than one. Yeah, there was an $85,000 chargeback. There was at least one person I know that had to sell their house, and now they live in a fucking RV. And they didn't commit that much fraud. And they had to sign an NDA. So, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've already been talking about this too long. I don't want to talk about this shit no more. Yeah. I can either focus on that or what I need to get done today. Those are going to be my options. And I really don't feel like focusing on that. Right. Monday's usually my day off. I decide I'm going to do some work today, just some little stuff that isn't too right. But I usually take Mondays off. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. And usually I do Monty's show on Monday, but we're not doing that again until October 13th. So we have that to look forward to. Do we know what time it is? It's time for Dion's Daily Funnies. AA, where the coffee's hot and the trauma's hotter. All right, 90 meetings in 90 days. I can't even commit to a Netflix show. Step 3, made a decision, then second guessed it. These suck. These suck, man. They really do. These are not grade A jokes. We're going to go back to dad jokes. We're going to go back to the cheesy 350 new dad jokes. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. That's much better. I got a new pen that can write underwater. It can write other words too. Oh, Shopping centers are so boring because if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. In 2025, I didn't do a marathon. I didn't do one in 2024, 2023, or 2022 either. This is a running joke. Morning, Patricia. Good morning, Margie. All right. At least we got some decent jokes in. We're going to be in the big book today, page 128. A limitless load. Load being like striking oil or gold in this case, right? Right. Margie says, I had a week no one wanted to live through, but I made it. Look at that. God will do for you what you cannot do for yourself. You work on the spiritual malady and things will start to fall into place. It's not easy to do. It is not easy to do. So we're going to be at 128. All right. 128. Family afterward. I like family afterward. Whoop. Looking for a good, it's 128 to 129. All right. So we're going to start on page 127 at the top is where we're going to get started. So if you'd like to follow along in your big books, maybe you're on everything AA, maybe you just like to listen, maybe you're coloring, go for it. The head of the house ought to remember that he is mainly to blame for what befell his home. He can scarcely square the account in his lifetime, but he must see the danger of over-concentration on financial success. Although financial recovery is on the way for many of us, we found we could not place money first. For us, material well-being always followed spiritual progress. It never preceded. I'm telling you right now, I didn't know that was coming out. I didn't know that. It's just I know that that's what works. You work on your spirituality and the rest falls into place. Right? Well, and what's the first thing that's going to happen? Well, you're going to have a little bit more money because you're not spending it on alcohol. Well, but now you have more time to be able to maybe improve your skills. You know, may the job you're at helped you get sober. Well, you could certainly show them your gratitude by being a better employee, and that usually helps you rise through the company and things like that. All right. We alcoholics usually, when it comes, especially if we have a job where they helped us get sober, you're going to have some of the best employees in the world. Alcoholics are very, very good employees for the most part. If they decide that spirituality comes first, we're very good at what we do because we've been given another chance to prove ourselves, and we tackle that with surprising vigor. Right? Since the home has suffered more than anything else, it is well that a man exert himself there. He is not likely to get far in any direction if he fails to show unselfishness and love under his own roof. Now, a lot of times people get sober, they want to go out there and they want to save the world. You see it a lot. This is one of the reasons why it should be 2-3 years before you decide to go out and become a recovery coach or something like this, because you need to repair your family first. I repaired myself. You got to take care of your family first. You can't go change the world. This is the order in which it works. You got to change yourself. Then you can help. Then you can help your household. Then you help change your household. Then your neighborhood. Then your community. And that's where it ends. We're not here to save the world. I'm not here to save the world. If I can help somebody on the other side of the world, I'm going to do it. But I'm concerned mostly about my community. I'm mostly concerned about North Glen, Colorado, where I live. That is my main concern. That is my community. Okay? If I can do more, sure I will. But if I have to choose, I'm going to choose my community. Now, I've been through this process. I have done this, and it is the way that it works. How are you going to show other people how to reassemble their family when you've done nada to complete yours? Because you did it too early, because you wanted what you wanted. There's times and places for all of these things. We know there are difficult wives and families, but the man who is getting over alcoholism must remember he did much to make them that way. As each member of the resentful family begins to see his shortcomings and admits them to others, he lays a basis for helpful discussion. These family talks will be constructive if they can be carried on without heated arguments, self pity, self justification, or resentful criticism. Little by little, mother and children will see they ask too much, and father will see he gives too little. Giving rather than getting will become the guiding principle. That's the way. That's the way it works in our house. All house is a very, very, very foreign house. All right. With 2 grandkids in the yard, 8 cats in the house. When something comes up in this house, it isn't really a problem. We just sit down and discuss it and figure out what the solution is going to be. It's what we do around here. There's no blaming. There's no, oh, you did this and you shouldn't do it that way. No, we don't. We don't do it that way in this house. Yeah. Huh. Wasn't that way 2 years ago. Actually, I think it was a little longer than that. See, my son, he caught my anger problem, and rightfully so. Actually, he had every legitimate reason to be angry. He did. He had a tough fucking life, man. Right? And who does that fall on? Well, that falls on me. Well, it's his responsibility. Yeah, but it's got to start somewhere, doesn't it? Doesn't it? See, he had my anger. So I don't yell and scream and stuff like I used to. I don't. If I do, it's only because I need to get somebody's attention. Right? On the other side of the house. Like, stop the fucking running. But see, if I throw fucking in there, they stop. I'm just kidding. Right? But little by little, his anger started to diminish. Anger started to go away. Now he still has anger, but now he does things differently. What? What? And why that happened? Because I had to become a good example. It had to start there. It had to start there. Pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool that was able to happen. Okay. So giving rather than getting will become the guiding principle. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Assume, on the other hand, that father has at the outset a stirring spiritual experience. Oh, this might be overnight. As it were, he is a different man. He becomes a religious enthusiast. He is unable to focus on anything else. And that's the problem with a lot of sudden spiritual experiences. Right? As soon as his sobriety begins to be taken as a matter of course, the family may look at their strange new dad with apprehension, then with irritation. Right? There is talk of spiritual matters morning, noon, and night. You want to know, like, the least thing that comes up in a conversation with kids? God. They know I'm spiritual. They already know I believe in God. But I was allowed to choose my own higher power. Nobody told me how to believe. Nobody told me how to do this. Nobody had to do that. And I ain't going to do it with my children. That's not fair. I got to choose my own, and now they're going to have to choose mine. No. Cannot go that route. I've got to let them figure out all on their own. But there again, I can be a good example. But force feeding people spirituality ain't going to work. And your kids really aren't going to appreciate it. And neither's the significant other. Just because you changed overnight. Okay. What this comes across as, it comes across that you're a pompous, arrogant fuck, is how it comes across. Because you are being one. I'm glad you had a sudden spiritual experience, but you still know nothing of life. You still know nothing. The spiritual experience is the obsession being lifted and a new set of values, but that doesn't mean you have practiced them. And this is where it evens out. This is the process. Okay. Well, I had a sudden spiritual experience, so that means in 6 months I'm well enough to become a recovery coach. Bullshit. That is not what that means. Sometimes people have sudden, and I'm using quotation, sudden spiritual experiences. Yeah, that just didn't happen. Detoxing, seeing people. No, that's what happens when you detox. It happened to me. I saw shadow people all over the place. All right, anyway. So he may demand. See, now we're back to demanding. See, he knows nothing. He knows nothing. If he's going to run around and demand, so you're going to demand that family find God in a hurry or exhibit amazing indifference to them and say he is above worldly considerations. He may tell mother who has been religious all her life that she doesn't know what it's all about and that she had better get this brand of spirituality while yet there is yet time. See, here's the thing. If a person is acting like this, I don't really think this is a sudden spiritual experience. This sounds like I think I'm better than you. This sounds like pride. It sounds like ego to me. This isn't utilizing God for direction. This is telling people what to do. This is emotional sobriety. All right. Quit telling your kids what to do and go take out the damn trash like you're supposed to. You are not special because you had a sudden spiritual experience. God decided that. All right. When father takes his tack, the family may react unfavorably. I would. Right? They may be jealous of a God who has stolen dad's affections. While grateful that he drinks no more, they may not like the idea that God has accomplished the miracle where they have failed. That's part of it. Even you alcoholics will fall for this trap. You will. We tend to think sometimes that we can get other people sober. I couldn't even get myself sober, let alone someone else. All right. Angel says, I think that we all did do it to a point, though. I did. I've never pushed. I do not push, and I have never pushed spirituality on my children, ever. Because I know how they'll react. Fuck off. So my children are. Okay. Now, what Angel's kind of talking about is called the peak cloud. Because I understand what you're saying. And it's where life gets so well, you start shouting it from the rooftops, telling everybody you'll buttonhole anybody that'll listen. Yeah, I did go through that. It didn't last long. My sponsor put an end to that, though. So, in one way or another, yes, we do all do it. Okay, it's part of the process in the beginning. If you're new to the program, your first 3 months, you're just wrong about everything. That's just how it works because it's how you learn. Right? You weren't talking about spirituality. Okay, Angel, thank you. Because I don't want to assume what people are saying either. So they often forget Father was beyond human aid. They may not see why their love and devotion did not straighten him out. Dad is not so spiritual after all, they say. If he means to right his past wrongs, why all this concern for everyone in the world but his family? What about his talk that God will take care of them? They suspect Father is a bit balmy. and they would not be incorrect. Angel says, "I just want to save family. Thank God my dad." Oh, okay. Now I hear what. Okay, I had it wrong. Okay, yes, we do that. Yeah. Say, I just wanted to save my family. Thank God my dad did die sober. Woohoo! My biological father died sober too. Yeah. Yeah. Never did his night step with me. We alcoholics notice this shit, don't we? Hey, I noticed it. He owed me a ninth step. He fucking abandoned me. He doesn't owe you none. Oh, bullshit. According to the program, he does. Where's my child support? I get a dime for that. Man, that guy didn't spend it. Oh, that's not true. He spent 25 cents on a stamp and sent me a letter back. He never did anything for me. Maybe there just wasn't enough time. But I'm also not going to sit here and hate on the man. He did die sober. He died with 54 years of sobriety. 54 fucking years, man. That is a hell of an accomplishment. Right. So, what's the best way to do all this? Find out who you are and be that person. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go out there and be these other things to fit in. I know recovery kind of seems like it's a popularity game right now because it is. But if you keep searching, you'll find the right people. Yeah, I don't want to be in any of that. I you know I certainly have friends and they're in the program, but if we go into a meeting, I treat everybody the same. I'm not gonna. That's not true. I give my sponsees a little bit more crap than other people, but that's because I know them. I'm good friends with them, and men are that way. There are some men. Some men, our relationship is we give each other shit. It's what we do. Not all of them. See, I have one sponsee we're like that. I have another sponsee. It's never. We don't give each other a hard time very much. It's more of a, you know, one's extroverted, one's introverted. These are different relationships. And they're fun to have, man. He is not so balanced as they might think. Many of us have experienced dad's elation. We have indulged in the spiritual intoxication. Like a gaunt prospector, belt drawn over the last ounce of food, our pick struck gold. Joy to our release from a lifetime of frustration knew no bounds. Father feels he has struck something better than gold. Enjoy it. Please do. Please enjoy it. You're going to get a pink cloud. This is the pink cloud. You might get more than one of them. Enjoy them. I'm not going to sit here and say, what we're saying is don't go run around telling everybody what they should do because you feel better. No, but do enjoy it while you can, because this too shall pass. The secret is this: keep your feet firmly placed on the ground, right? Because it's exciting. It's finally exciting. After years of turmoil, life is starting to get better. And this can be very, very exciting because it is. I'm excited for you. For a time, he may try to hug the new treasure to himself. Yeah, sounds about right. He may not see at once that he has barely scratched a limitless load, which will pay dividends if only if he minds it for the rest of his life and insists on giving away the entire product. Yeah. If you don't give away everything that's given to you, you don't get to keep what you give away. If you hold on to something, it's not yours. See, none of it's yours anyway. Borrowed, right? I'm going to give away the entire product. Why? Because I'm already full. It's dividends. I'm giving away dividends. It's extra. It's like taking a lot of vitamin C. The extra is just a dividend. It gets extricated out. Angel says, I got sober in the music community before the Before sober was cool, I got treated like crap. Now they're all sober. Wow, huh? Margie says people who are drinking don't like sober people. I never did. And yes, they treat you like shit. I don't like being around drunk people. I didn't like being around anybody when I drank. Yeah, I don't. I wasn't like, oh, let's get drunk, go to an AA meeting. If the family cooperates, Dad will soon see he is suffering from a distortion of values. Yeah, because he doesn't have any yet. He just got started. He will perceive that his spiritual growth is lopsided. Yep. See, the sponsor is going to take care of this. The sponsor and the home group are going to take care of this. You're doing what? No, no, Dion. We don't work that way. Let me tell you, let me let you know how we do it here. And let's try that. Let's try that. If it doesn't work, then go back to your own way. But it always worked, so I didn't have to go back to my own way. All right. Now it's different. I'm coming up on 10 years, right? When it comes to spirituality, when it comes to motivating and encouraging, I'm head of house, man. I am the person in this, every single person, and it may not look like it, but every single one of my children, every single one of my grandkids looks to me for the right thing now. They all look to me, my wife, a lot of my friends. Some days I'm having a hard time, so I'll look out to everybody else, like Angel and Amber and some of my other friends. Be like, okay, you know, remember you're being a good example at the time. So then I get to follow it. The saying is we're not all sick on the same day. Right? Spiritual life, does not include his family obligations, may not be so perfect after all. If the family will appreciate that dad's current behavior is but a phase of his development, all will be well. In the midst of an understanding and sympathetic family, these vagaries of dad's spiritual infancy will quickly disappear. And they will. They will. He's not going to, she is not going to be stuck in that area for long if they're doing the work. If they're doing the work. Big if there. All right, we're just going to do the second part in the reflection here since we already read the. Let's read it again. Let's just do it again. Why not? Certainly couldn't hurt. Angel said, people in the same crowd that you were talking about earlier. Yeah, pretty much. So it's not surprising, huh, Angel? Same shit, different industry. All right. Amber. Yes, Amber, I know. Why is she sending me that? God, she's weird. She's weird. Okay. All right. A limitless load like a prospector. My friend's making me laugh. Belt drawn in over the last ounce of food or pick struck gold. And I would tell you what she's saying, but she has an announcement and it's not for me to announce. So, joy at our release from a lifetime, or I would tell you, from a lifetime of frustration knew no bounds. Father feels he has struck something better than gold. For a time, he may try to hug the new treasure to himself. He may not see at once that he has barely scratched a limitless load, which will pay the dividends only if he mines it for the rest of his life and insists on giving away the entire product. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 28 and 29 of the 100 variety. 128, 129. When I talk with a newcomer to AA, my past looks at me straight in the face. I see the pain in those hopeful eyes. I extend my hand, and then a miracle happens. I become healed. My problems vanish as I reach out to this trembling soul. Yeah. Nothing so much ensures immunity from drinking, a bad attitude, self-pity, depression, PTSD, any of these things, than intensive work with another alcoholic. Go help another person, and you will see your life change almost immediately. Almost immediately. If you're doing the work. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And